"I have had enough, Lord. Take my life." This isn't a villain. This isn't a man who hates God. This is the prayer of the greatest prophet in the Old Testament. 24 hours earlier, this man, Elijah, was an unstoppable force of nature. He commanded the weather. He defeated 850 enemies single-handedly. He was on top of the world. So how do you go from calling down fire from heaven to begging for death in a single day? The answer explains everything about why you feel tired, why you feel anxious, and why even the strongest people break. To understand Elijah's collapse, we have to look at what happened on Mount Carmel physically. This wasn't just a prayer meeting. It was a war zone. For hours, he was in a high-stakes standoff against a hostile government. His cortisol was spiking, his adrenaline was maxed out. Then, after the fire fell, the Bible says he ran on foot ahead of King Ahab's chariot. That is a 15 to 20-mile ultra-marathon after the most stressful day of his life. Physiologically, Elijah was empty. He experienced what we call today an adrenaline dump. When your body runs on survival mode for too long, the crash isn't just physical, it's emotional. And right at that moment of physical weakness, the enemy struck. Queen Jezebel sent a death threat. Under normal circumstances, Elijah would have laughed. But he wasn't normal, he was exhausted. Elijah runs into the wilderness. But listen closely to what he says when he collapses. He doesn't just say, "I'm scared." He says, "I am no better than my ancestors." This is the hidden killer, disappointment. Elijah thought the fire on Mount Carmel would change everything. He thought the revival had started. He thought the war was over. But the next day, Jezebel was still queen, Ahab was still weak, and Elijah felt like a failure. He wasn't just tired, he was disillusioned. He thought, "I did everything right, and nothing changed." Have you ever felt that? You work hard, you pray, you grind, and the problem is still there? So, here is the man of God, suicidal and depressed. Watch how God handles him. This is the most important part of the video. God doesn't preach a sermon. He doesn't give him a theology lesson. He doesn't say, "Where is your faith?" God gives him a snack and a nap twice. The angel wakes him up, feeds him, and lets him sleep again. God treated Elijah's physical exhaustion before he addressed his spiritual problem. Only after Elijah is rested does God invite him to the mountain for a talk. And even then, God doesn't shout. There was wind, there was an earthquake, there was fire. But God wasn't in the loud stuff, God was in the whisper. Elijah wanted to die because he believed a lie. He said, "I am the only one left." He felt isolated. But in that whisper, God told him, "No, Elijah, I have 7,000 others who haven't bowed their knees." Elijah wasn't done. He actually went on to mentor Elisha, who did twice as many miracles. His greatest legacy happened after his lowest moment. If you are tired of being strong today, take a nap, eat something good, and listen for the whisper. You aren't a failure just because you're exhausted. You're just human. And God knows that. If this story helped you, hit that like button, and click right here to see another Bible hero who failed big time but finished strong. Thanks for watching.